are you aware that some things you may be doing on a daily basis could actually be contributing to or making your menopause symptoms worse? So what I'm going to do today is look at some of the things that can affect your symptoms and really simple things and changes that you can do just to make a big impact on your symptoms. So number one is not drinking enough water. There's no surprise there. For those of you that have been watching for a while, you know how much emphasis I put on drinking water. This is honestly, it's the most simple and easiest thing you can do. And it can often make a huge difference really, really quickly. So the main reason for making sure you drink plenty of water is when estrogen falls, it affects our body's ability to keep itself hydrated to maximum level. We need water for so many processes in the body, just things like, brain function, our digestion, keeping our bladder healthy, keeping our joints healthy, keeping our skin from drying out. So water is so, so vital. And if our body's level of hydration drops to a lower level, that's going to impact on a whole range of issues. So as I mentioned, all these symptoms that you're getting may be more to do with dehydration rather than being blamed on the menopause itself. So the important thing here is to remember it needs to be plain water. The minute you put juice in it or anything else into it, it changes the way that your body uses it. You can use natural flavoring, so a couple of berries or a little bit of mint or cucumber or grated ginger. Something like that is okay. So definitely things like tea, coffee, alcohol, fruit juices really do not count. And some of them, especially things like tea and coffee and alcohol, they actually help you to lose more water. So the more of those you drink, the more dehydrated you're going to be affected as well. So remember, about 1.5 litres of plain water a day over and above whatever else that you want to drink. Number two is using artificial sweeteners. So of course we want to maintain our weight or stop putting weight on. So very often we think artificial sweeteners will be better than sugar. The answer here is no, because artificial sweeteners affect your blood sugar in a different way. It makes your insulin production and your pancreas think that there's lots of sugar coming and there isn't. And over time that can weaken your blood sugar control. And if your blood sugar control goes all over the place, that can trigger a lot of the symptoms, things like headaches, palpitations, low mood, anxiety, mood swings. All of these can be affected by poor blood sugar control. And as I see it, why would you want to put anything artificial into your body? And there's now quite a lot of research coming out looking at the detrimental effects of artificial sweeteners. We know too that some of them can affect the balance of friendly bacteria in the gut. So you may find taking artificial sweeteners causes bloating, constipation, cramping, that kind of thing. And we need plenty of friendly bacteria to help with our hormone balance as well. So there can be quite a vicious circle here. It is difficult to give up sugar. I used to take 2 teaspoons of honey in my tea and coffee, and a good number of years ago I thought, yeah, I need to stop this, and it's really hard to start with. But they do say that it takes about 10 days to retrain your taste buds to do with less sugar. And I find now, see if I'm away somewhere or visiting somebody and they inadvertently put some sugar or honey in my tea or coffee, I hate it. It just tastes so awful. So this is one of these situations. It's worth trying for the 10 days just to see how you get on. And if you count up how many teaspoons of sugar you take in things, it can add up to quite a lot on a daily basis without you realizing it. So number 3 is Do you drink coffee first thing? Is that the first thing you do when you get up? A lot of people do. You're tired, you haven't had a good night's sleep, you've got a busy day in front of you. You want something to give you a big hit, and coffee will certainly do that. But that coffee and the caffeine is going to be whizzing round in your system for hours after you drink that cup of coffee. Normally, when you get up, your blood pressure rises. It's part of the waking up process. So your blood pressure rises a little bit to get you ready for moving and doing everything that you need to do. Your cortisol level, so the cortisol is associated with the nervous system, that rises as well in order to help you to cope with any stresses and strains that may be going on. It harks back to, years, millions of years ago when the human beings were just developing. So here you are in a situation where you're getting up, your blood pressure is rising, your stress hormones are rising. You take a cup of coffee, which is going to put your blood pressure up further. It's going to raise up your stress hormones even further. It's possibly going to impact on your blood sugar level. So your system, before you've done anything else, is in a state of high alert. It's been revved up. And that can take hours to calm down. So those morning symptoms, such as flushes and sweats, palpitations, headaches, the jitters, and then the sudden blood sugar fall once the caffeine wears off. So that plummets you down to fatigue, brain fog, just feeling really tired with no energy, can all be linked to that first cup of coffee in the morning. So all I'm saying here, I'm not saying don't ever have coffee. I love a cup of coffee in the morning, and I would never ask anybody to do anything that I can't do myself. But all you need to do is swap that cup of coffee with a big glass of water first thing. I've done it for years, and I can't actually function without that first glass of water. That's the thing that actually gets me going. You've been dehydrated all night. And that first glass of water, your body is going to soak it up like a sponge and thank you very, very much. What to do with the coffee? Have it after food, where it's going to have less impact on your nervous system and on your stress levels as well. I have my breakfast usually 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I will have my one a day morning cup of coffee about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And I find it doesn't really impact on what I need to do, but I get the nice mood lifting benefits from that cup of coffee. So again, this is one, try it for a couple of weeks, see how you get on. So number 4 is using antiperspirants. So who would have thought that antiperspirants could make your hot flushes worse? Your body, one of the main areas where your body controls the heat is under the arms. That's where we sweat the most. So when we get too hot, when we get agitated, when our nervous system is revving up, the body, that heat process will cause you to sweat under your arms. But of course, we're like, in this day and age, it's not really sociably acceptable to be going around with wet underarms, and especially if you get a little bit of BO. So you put antiperspirants on. And nowadays there are antiperspirants that will last for 24, 48 hours. They block the pores. So great, you can't sweat from your armpits. But if your thermostat, if your body heat thermostat is out of control, if you're getting hot flushes, if you're getting sweat, where are you going to sweat from? So what happens then is your body is trying desperately hard to bring the temperature down. So it's going to find other ways. So you're going to get really hot flushes in the face. You're going to sweat in the face, behind the neck, under the breasts. It may be in the groin. And it can be your feet. You can end up with sweaty feet. It can be the palms of your hand. So your body will find any means of regulating the temperature by sweating if it can't do it under the arms. So I recommend a natural deodorant This will work well at keeping you nice and fresh. There's so many out there now. There's loads to choose from, and they're very good at controlling odor now too. We have a lovely one from a company called Salt of the Earth that I use all the time. I have been to countries where it's been, over 40 degrees and it's still kept me lovely and fresh. So there's good mates out there. And again, just try for a couple of weeks, see how you get on. Number 5, eating on the run. If you eat on the run, if you're chomp, 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 or if you're eating at your desk, if you're eating really quickly because you've got a deadline to face, you're going to put a huge pressure on your digestive system, which is not going to help with general digestive issues, which can be affected during the perimenopause and menopause. If you're really rushed, your digestion will actually stop if you're really, I've got to get this done. So all the food that you have eaten is going to sit in the stomach, it's going to ferment, it's going to give you indigestion, it's probably going to cause bloating lower down the digestive tract. So the thing to do here is that when you eat at a table, not hunched up at your desk, not hunched in front of the TV, sit up straight, eat slowly, chew your food really well, and that, just by doing things like that, can ease or stop bloating problems. Again, really simple. So I hope you found this one helpful. There's lots of little things that you can do to help yourself. If you try this, how did you get on? Let me know if it was a success or not. If you have found other things have really helped you, then please share them. I love that, after these blogs have been posted, we can have lovely dialogues between everybody. It helps me, and it also helps everybody else as well. One extra thing before you go. Another way to support yourself at this time is to take a perimenopause and menopause supplement such as A.Vogel's Menopause Support. If you haven't tried Menopause Support, why not request a free sample today to see how it can help you? It contains soya isoflavones, which are a source of phytoestrogens, as well as the essential mineral magnesium, which can help to support you in a number of ways, including helping to reduce fatigue, the most common symptom of perimenopause and menopause, according to A.Vogel's online checker. Check the video descriptions for details on how to request a sample today. Take care and thanks for watching.